What's good, everybody? Welcome in to Early Edge Live as we count down to the final game of Week 14. It is Monday Night Football. Two teams that are hanging on to their playoff lives oh so barely. After tonight, one, I think, will be done. The Patriots, 6-6, last place in the AFC East. The Cardinals, they are figuring out ways to lose. The last time we saw them, the Chargers were going for 2 to win the game, and they got it. So the Cardinals come in tonight 4-8. If you're brand new to Early Edge Live, we do our best bets. We do our props. You like a prop in the game tonight? Put it into the chat. My experts will address as many as we have time for. Also, I need you to pound that like button for me. I need 500 likes to get the donkey tonight, to get the goose tonight by the top of the hour at 8 p.m. Eastern time. So with all that being said, let's bring in the stars of the show. You know, on Mondays, I have the absolute very best. First and foremost, live from Nashville, Tennessee, the penthouse level. M Squared, good evening, sir.
Good evening, Coach. Proppy Sia. Great to see you guys fired up for this show. Once again, we have another primetime game that I think is going to be a very good one like we saw last night. Can't wait for it. Let's go.
And Mikey, on behalf of everybody here at the Early Edge, we need to say congratulations to you because now you are a 2-time entrant into the club. Were you aware of that?
Yes, I was aware of it. I very much was aware of cashing that ticket last night, yes.
Oh, interesting. So Mikey's in the club, and up next, live from parts unknown, he's got a brand new nickname. We call him Prop It 2-Time. You just call him to the prop table. Prop Stars, good evening, sir.
Good evening, Coach. Good evening, Mikey. Cousin Sia, just real quick. I know that Sia and I have a friendly sort of sibling rivalry on the show. I just wanted to tip my hat to Sia. He had another spectacular week with props. Last week going undefeated. I believe he went something like 7-1 this week. Sia has actually been spectacular all season long, and it's been such a treat to do that Friday prop show with him. And just wanted to take my hat off to Sia, who's really having a great season.
He really is. Somebody said it today on the morning show. He is right now the SportsLine Early Edge GOAT. So I will say it. He is the most handsome man in all of the Early Edge universe, and he is red, smoking hot. See you, Najat. Good evening, sir.
I don't accept the GOAT status, by the way, with the panel we have here right now. I refuse to accept that moniker. However, it has been the whole season's been really good, to be honest with you. The last 2 weeks have been red hot. The last thing I need to do, gentlemen, is hit your first touchdown score, your gem tonight, and I plan to do it.
Well, this is the first time, I believe, where everybody on the show but you is in Club Cachet. Mikey already ordered the most expensive bottle. His whole crew is going to be there tonight. Alex has his crew in Club Cachet tonight. Of course, you know how I roll, so I'll be like 8-9 deep. But see ya. We hope that you get into – well, some people do. All right, let's get into it. We got to jump into our best bets, which we do first every single time. Let me look at my notes. Rarely do I start with an under, but this is an under I absolutely love. Probably 2-time. Start us off.
Yeah, give me James Conner under 61.5 rushing yards. If you read my column that came out just 2 days ago, this was featured in said article. James Conner has been super inefficient, mostly ineffective this season. He's been held under in 7 of 9 appearances this year. This is also a very stingy Patriots front. They give up the 4th fewest yards to opposing running backs this season. They're ranked 7th in rushing DVOA, so this is a difficult matchup for James Conner. Love him under 61.5 rushing yards. I'd play this one all the way down to about 59.5.
I've already bet this twice in the last 30 minutes. That's how much I believe in my guy. So that's a great start. But seeing Najad, I know you had one. You took one off. Do you have an official play or no?
Yeah, I do. It's Ramondre Stevenson's longest rush under 18.5 yards at -125. There are going to be some places because his numbers have been moving over the last few hours where it's 17.5. I'm okay with it there. Not so much at 16.5, but if you can get 18.5, that's where you want to be. Stevenson hasn't exceeded this number in the last 4 games that he's played, 2 of which he had 15 carries. So even in games where he's gotten the volume, he hasn't exceeded this number. And frankly, I think His rushing and receiving total which is 120.5. I could play that. I could play his rushing total 79.5 under, but my favorite thing to do here was going to be his 18.5 longest rush under. I think he'll get plenty of volume. I just don't think the efficiency will be there. That's what we've seen over the last 4 games in terms of the longest rush itself. So give me the under 18.5 yards longest rush.
All right. I'm staring at 17.5. Are you cool with that?
Yeah, I'm cool with 17.5, no lower than that. And you're getting a good price on the 17.5.
115, minus 115.
That's fine. In some places, I think if it's going to move to 17.5, you might get it at plus 100, which is even better, but minus 115 is fine.
All right. Very, very good. All right. A couple of housekeeping items from our morning show before we begin the voice of God. Zach Attack, live from Las Vegas this morning. He's on the Cardinals plus 1.5. You watch the show live. He told you all the reasons. Then I'm coming to you, Mikey, because the Maestro is on Nelson Aguilar over 29.5 receiving yards, minus 113. And then Kyler Murray over 35.5 rush yards, minus 111. And then also we have another Kyler Murray that AB will explain to you. Mikey, do you like those 2 plays from the Maestro?
I do. Yes, I do. I think that Murray definitely runs a little bit tonight. He looks to run more the last few games. The Patriots have struggled against mobile quarterbacks, but I think it's a product of not only Kyler Murray being healthy, but the team around him being healthy. When it's not just him and DeAndre Hopkins, I think having Marquise Brown back helps a ton. And then I want to quickly give the closest things to official plays I have. They are leans. I've played them in a lot of different same game parlays. The 2 players I'm tacking most tonight, Devontae Parker and Marquise Brown. I love Devontae Parker tonight. He has a pretty incredible target share, running routes on 100% of snaps, things like that. In situations without Jacoby Myers, he's the guy I'm targeting the most. My biggest same game parlay that I have that is out there tonight is Devontae Parker over 24.5 receiving yards paired with Marquise Brown over 39.5, taking their very low alternate numbers and then pairing it with the Cardinals plus 12.5 or plus 13.5. You can find that at plus 130 to plus 135 out there right now.
Please educate and entertain. It does not get any better than that. And by the way, the Marquise Brown number, if you want to play it full, currently sits at 56.5, and Parker is at 39.5, minus 119, and also plus 103 currently. If you want to play the full things and not those alternate lines, go ahead, Mikey.
And I've got about 9 yards of edge above the market number on Devontae Parker and 8 on Marquise Brown.
Wow. Okay. I would encourage you both to play both of those.
Yeah. I played their alternates as well, all the way up to 100 on both.
Okay.
Wow. So, yeah.
John, I got to sign those and make sure I get those in before we go live at 8:15 Eastern time.
If you're out there looking at box scores, look at weeks 3 and 4. Those are the games without Jacoby Myers where Devontae Parker is in a similar role to what I think he is tonight matchup-wise.
You're going to spoil the people, Mikey. You're going to spoil the people. You're doing the work for them. See, did you have something?
Well, yeah, I was going to say Mike is absolutely right about snap counts and things of that nature with Devontae Parker. But with Jacoby Myers out, I think just to play on Larry's prop, which now, it's good to watch the morning show, right? Because it was 29.5 when he gave it out. It's 33.5 now, which I really don't mind. But I think Nelson Aguilar slips into that second spot in terms of snap share. So I think you're looking at Devontae Parker being on the field pretty much the entire time. And I think Nelson Aguilar slips into that second spot without Jacoby Myers. So I like Nelson Aguilar in a lot of different ways this week.
Oh, there you go. Our 2 very best at DFS and betting. Alex, I'm coming to you, but after we give out our final 3 best bets. Voice of God, are you there?
We are here indeed, Coach, and in the flesh.
Oh, damn, show your face. Let me see that big old fat smile that I love so much. I didn't know we had video tonight. Let's go. All right.
Yep, just prepping for the Larry Hartstein show, so getting ready for that.
All right, what do we got tonight, big boy? Your 3 best bets, please.
Yep, so we've got 3 here. Let me put it on the screen so everybody can see it. We're going to go first off. The no-fly zone is open, and I'm going to break that down in 1 second here. We're going Kyler Murray over half an interception, minus 130. We're also going to go Kyler Murray longest rush over 14.5 yards. The Larry Hartstein show gave that out earlier this morning. He's on the rushing yards total. I'm taking 1 shot here, longest rush over 14.5. And also Nick Folk over 1.5 field goals, Patriots kicker. Weather-controlled climate. Belichick loves using kickers, especially, obviously, Nick Folk. So we're going to go with those 3. Now, Coach, I wanted to bring up one thing real quick
Please
so that
do.
we can knock it out. The
Okay.
no-fly zone.
Yes.
Can I show this?
Please.
All right. So, everybody, I wanted to get you the info on what you could expect from both quarterbacks tonight. So, let's look at Kyler Murray really quickly. We are taking him over half an interception, and you can see why here. All right. On the left side, the grid, you see the rankings of the Patriots passing defense. All right. Short left, ranked 14th, short mid, 24th, et cetera, et cetera. Deep mid, number 1. And you see the no-fly zone, top middle, top right. All right. That's when Kyler Murray gets in trouble. He is going to try to use the middle of the field right there for the open zone for him. That's where he's had success. But generally, in the first half of games, he goes deep down the middle and to the right. That is going to be disastrous for him. You look, 85.7% of his interceptions have been thrown when they are behind in the game. 0%. No interceptions in the red zone. They generally hit these in the 21 to 50 range of his side of the field. So that's why we're playing. You can see Kyler Murray there. And really quickly, we're not playing Mac Jones, but I want to show you the same thing here. You see the grid on the left. Mac Jones is going to look to attack the short right of the field. Not only is Arizona's pass defense 31st in the league there, but that is where Mac Jones finds the most success there and in the middle of the field. So watch as Mac looks to attack short plays, no turnovers, keep it tight right there on the right. If he starts going crossbody to the left, deep there, that could be trouble. So keep an eye on Mac. If you're playing him, that's generally where he is going to throw his interceptions. You know what? That is it.
That is amazing. And just so you guys know, we do everything ourselves. CBS does not help us. AB put that whole thing together by himself. Reggie said, talk about educate. And it's probably why at a lot of books, I just looked while you were talking, AB, the longest completion for Mac Jones is not even listed on my book. And based off what you just said, because it would have been an easy cash under, correct?
Correct.
There you go. Great stuff, man. Great stuff.
Joke.
Jay Soper says, I love that stuff. We're not just here for picks. We want to educate you as well so you can take the information and use it moving forward. And with that being said, last week, Alex, DeAndre Hopkins had 87 yards, but only on 4 catches, which means his catch prop did not cash, but his yardage prop did. Today, it's right around 79.5. Will this be a spike game or just a good game for DeAndre Hopkins?
Could potentially be neither. This is an excellent Patriots pass defense. Second in EPA allowed per dropback. Top 5 in coverage grade. Arguably the best secondary in the NFL. They've been very good against opposing number 1 wide receivers all year too. DeAndre Hopkins certainly has Bill Belichick's attention to. One of the things the Patriots are known for is sort of taking away the opposing team's best player and then forcing other guys, complementary guys, to beat you. So I anticipate a lot of bracket coverage for DeAndre Hopkins. Is still good enough to get off. I'm sure he'll be involved, but I think the numbers are quite efficient for him.
All right. And Bradley is helping us out in the chat. He says on FanDuel, there is a number listed under 34.5 for Mac Jones. Sia, would you like that number to the under?
Yeah, I would, but not enough to bet it, to be honest with you. Again, because of this secondary is quite bad for Arizona, I do see Mac Jones taking some shots. And let's not forget what happened the last time the New England Patriots were on the field. You actually saw Mac Jones verbalize his frustration for the dink and dunk offense that was being instituted on his behalf. And so I think you are going to see situations where Mac Jones airs it out, particularly early, and it wouldn't shock me at all if he completes one of these.
Okay, very good. Mikey, let me come to you because they're asking in the chat because C already did a good job of breaking down what the Maestro gave out earlier today, but Aguilar now is all the way to 34.5 and Murray's at 36.5. Would you be comfortable? The Murray, I think so, but what about Aguilar? 5 yards more than what we gave it out just like 7 hours ago.
I don't mind it personally. I think that most of the game scripts are going to put them in some of those passing situations, so I don't mind them. I think that both numbers are pretty efficient now where they have landed, but I don't think you're really betting into a minus EB situation at all.
Okay.
I don't like seeing the juice at minus 150 on a 33.5, but at that point, I'd likely try to find a 35.5 and play minus 110 range, or begin to look for some of the longest reception markets and see if sometimes the longest reception market doesn't move at all. Sometimes it moves a yard or two. And then quickly, one more comment on Hopkins and Marquise Brown.
Yes.
Somewhat similar to last night with Mike Williams and the Chargers. This is just the second game of the season with Marquise Brown and DeAndre Hopkins on the field together. In the first game, Marquise Brown led the way in target share at almost 30%, 29% to 22%. He was receiving a little bit. Hopkins received more air yards, but in terms of actual number of targets, Brown is potentially going to see more or at least equal, in my opinion.
I love that. Alex, go.
Yeah, I just want to touch on Mac Jones matchup really briefly. More teams are throwing the ball against them than any.
Real quick. Alex, dump out and come back in because you're frozen and you're cutting out. Is he cutting out for everybody else? Yes?
Yeah.
Yes, but he's back now. So whatever.
Okay, you're back now. I think you're good. All right, sorry. Continue, Alex.
Yeah. The Cardinals have been the biggest pass funnel in the NFL this season. That means more teams are choosing to go pass heavy and throw against them more than any other team in football. So this is a winnable, advantageous matchup for Mac Jones, who had been complaining about sort of the Patriots offense being very conservative. So if there were ever a time that he was going to be aggressive, air things out, obviously not having Jacoby Myers, his best receiver, definitely hurts, but certainly a winnable matchup for him. In addition to being the biggest pass funnel, they're without their top corner, Byron Murphy Jr. He has been probably the Cardinals' best defensive player, at least in the secondary this season. So I do expect an uptick in volume from Mac Jones tonight.
All right, very good. Great advice as well. Mikey, take a look at Matthew on that FanDuel boost, and I'm going to come to you for that next. But see, I'm coming to you next because we had a chat question on rush attempts. You're on Ramondre Stevenson, and you said you like him a lot in different ways, but his rush attempts, and we've been really good at targeting rush attempts this year. The number is 17.5.
Yeah, and I think it's moved down. I think it was 18.5 earlier today. I think 17.5 is a pretty good number because, I mean, depending on, I think either game script, you're going to see a lot of volume from Ramondre Stevenson, especially if you think if this is going to be a neutral game script or you think the Patriots are going to be winning, by some margin. I think you're going to see a ton of Ramondre Stevenson, which is why I kind of went away from, and we see is it 19.5 here? Wow. Okay. So, but that's juiced heavily to the under, but that's why I chose not to go the total rushing yardage route with Ramondre Stevenson. That's why I didn't go the rushing and receiving route, because I can see scenarios where he just gets so much volume, he eclipses those two numbers. And that's why I focused on the longest rush. So I think 17.5 is a really good number. My lean would be to the under, but it's not enough of an edge for me to actually advocate for that.
Yeah, it's really hard to tell what the game script's going to be in the fourth quarter, too, right now, because these two teams are kind of desperate. We need to get to 500 in the next just few minutes. Hit that like button. Take the chat down, hit the like button, and then just keep on talking. But we need everybody 500, or we will not give out the donkey and the goose, and we'll be the only ones to get to play because we already have it. Alex, I'm coming to you with Hunter Henry in a second, but Mikey, what do you have on that boost, sir?
I don't mind it. I think that the Kyler 200 yards passing, while it seems like a low number, could be a little fragile. Just because he's so good with his legs. There can be defensive scores, turnovers, short fields. Connor's still capable on the ground. On how they get Dortch the ball, you can have a pass that is a backwards pass, things like that. So I don't hate it. I don't think it's obvious free money value. It's up to you if you guys really like it. I think it's fair value, but I don't think it's the obvious free money that it might feel like.
All right. Those boosts, be very, very careful. I'm glad when you guys ask us because sometimes we hate the boosts. We hate what the sportsbook do to you guys because it seems so obvious. All right. Let me come to you, Alex, because the numbers on the Patriots side, and we've just talked about it. Mac Jones has been ticked off about it. They've been very, very conservative. And that means the numbers today are very, very low. Let's start with Hunter Henry on that side, 29.5, 30.5. It's low for the guy with that name, but not the way they've been playing. What do you think?
I love the spot for Hunter Henry. This is a prop that I was very close to giving out. The Cardinals are the worst team at covering tight ends in the NFL. They've given up more production to tight ends than any team in football. No Jacoby Myers, who patrols the middle of the field. That is where the majority of Mac Jones' targets go to. So Hunter Henry is going to be operating against an overmatched Cardinals defense that have really struggled with opposing tight ends, last in DVOA, giving up more yards to the position. So this is a great spot for Hunter Henry. This is a big number for him this season, but I expected him to be fully utilized in this matchup. Wouldn't surprise me if he's second or third or even potentially first on the team in targets. I also like his anytime touchdown look quite a bit. You can find that floating around plus 270 to plus 300. I think he's got a great shot to get in the end zone tonight.
Okay. Deb, I think it's Deb, says, Coach, I sure wish the SportsLine subscribers got the donkey early. If you have it, Mikey, educate them a little bit.
Yeah, it's not up on SportsLine because I only publish it when the article's published early in the day. But I don't recommend playing full unit same game parlays after about the 8th to 10th week of the season. There's just too many injuries. The lines aren't out early enough. When they are, they're what we like to do and the way we like to build. So I don't play them like that. So sometimes they'll get in there with the DFS article, but this entire stream I've been working on NBA because the NBA is still going on as well. So yeah, that is why it is not there. Unfortunately, you will only get it by watching the show tonight.
There you go. Real quick, Hunter Henry on it, and then I'm coming to you, Sia. But Alex, you just talked about him. His reception prop is over 2.5 minus 130. What do you make of that? Not the yardage.
Yeah, love that.
Love that too.
Smash spot.
All right, smash it. He says smash it, smash it. Now, Sia, if and I don't believe this to be true, but it could happen. If they listen to Mac Jones and they open up the offense tonight, let's look at the total. It's sitting at 44. We saw some really bad beats yesterday when it comes to totals. Would we attack this in any way, shape, or form?
You know, this is one of those situations where I think I would wait to maybe live bet it like we thought of doing yesterday with the Chargers-Dolphins game. If you waited on that game, you actually could have gotten whether it was good or not is a different question, but it just tells you how these lines move. You could have gotten 43.5 sometime around the end of the first quarter, somewhere near the end of the first quarter. This is one of those games where I'd almost hope, I like the over for the record, but it's one of those games where I'm hoping the first two drives stall and we get a number 39.5 or something in that area. So I think I might wait for a live bet on that, but I do like the over.
Last night, if people watched Early Edge Live, we asked Mikey almost his exact same question. He goes, this is a game you got to wait. And I'm so glad that we did, because what happened? It was 0-0 for a quarter and a half or whatever it was. And the over was never in doubt, or you couldn't play it. So listen to Sia, listen to Mike. You got to see the flow, especially with teams like the Patriots. You got to see what they're going to be doing. Are they going to be open? Are they going to be running it? What are they going to be doing? All right, we are 50 more likes from doing the donkey and the goose and the gym. And we don't just wait till the top of the hour. If we get to all of them, and I believe we've talked about all of them, because a lot of these numbers, quite frankly, guys, are too low to play. Alex, is there anybody else that your lab says, let's keep an eye on that guy, because this seems like a week that we just can't play a ton of props?
I think we hit on everybody. I think that has value in this game. Maybe a little bit Jonnu Smith, just because of how bad the Cardinals have been with tight ends. I do think Ramondre's numbers are huge. Just wanted to mention real quickly that I really love Sia's fade of Ramondre's longest rush. I think his 120 combined rushing and receiving is a gigantic number. That is reserved for really the elite running backs. Not saying Ramondre isn't one of those guys, but I definitely think this number is pretty big, considering the Cardinals have given up these 6 fewest yards to running backs this season. They actually have a pretty stout run defense. So I do think Ramondre's numbers are a bit bloated here.
113.5 is his combo number right now.
It's actually 120 on DraftKings.
Wow. Yeah, it's 120 in most markets, 120.5.
Well, since I have 113.5, would you play it?
I mean, I'm personally on a lot of unders. I'm recommending a lot of unders when it comes to, and I'm obviously playing the longest rush under. So 113.5 is a much more fair number, but it's still sky high. So for me, it's a stay away, right? But you're certainly getting an advantage versus almost every other book that's offering 120.5.
I faded the 120 number on DraftKings for what it's worth.
Okay. Well, I just faded the 113.5, and knowing my luck, it's going to be 117. It's all you guys will win except for me, and I'm cool with that. All right. We have hit 500 likes. We've talked about all the props that we need to talk about. So now it's the fun time of the show. It's when we separate the men proverbially, like I have an education, from the boys. Now, we give out 2 same-game parlays. If you're brand new to Early Edge Live, this is a ton of fun. So you need to grab your paper, grab your pencil, and take this down. The first one, we like to call it the donkey. You're up, Mike.
All right, this is a mega donk. There's a 100% boost floating around out there. I recommend using them. So plus 7,000 on this one. We're going to start with an alt spread. Cardinals plus 8.5. Mac Jones over 194.5 passing yards. Hopkins over his lowest number of 59.5. Devontae Parker, guy I like a lot tonight, over 34.5. Hunter Henry over 14.5. Marquise Brown, the other guy I really like tonight, over 39.5. Nelson Aguilar, 19.5. Ramondre over 29.5. And then finally, the 2 touchdown scorers. Give me Ramondre Stevenson and Marquise Brown. As always, if you don't want to play the touchdown scorers or don't want to play one of these legs, feel free to drop it out. It's still going to play at least plus 2,000 tonight if you have the boost.
I apologize, Mike. I get a little emotional when you give us a mega donkey. It just, we don't see it that often. I get a little emotional. I do. You know, Jay Soper says, mega donk, hide my wallet. Couldn't say any better myself. Hide my wallet. Faustino says, note to self, I will never bet against Mikey again. Faustino, it's kind of easier said than done because I've been saying that since 2020. And we see how that worked for me. All right, so just be very careful not listening to our resident genius. And I'm not talking about the speculator. All right, now, we've got the donkey. Now, you see Alex looking around. You see Alex not looking into the camera. What does that tell you? I know, my man. That means he is laser focused on ending the night with a cash. So, Alex, if you don't mind, sir, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Coach. There's my dongs. Yep, so we're going plus 550. These odds pale in comparison to Mikey's, but I do like this quite a bit. Mikey and I did not converse about these either, so we both like Ramondre Stevenson tonight. Anytime touchdown scorer, I do think he's going to get a ton of volume. Then I'm taking the Cardinals under 29 points. The Patriots over 17 points. Kyler Murray to throw for less than 300 yards against this great Patriots pass defense. Mac Jones to have at least 170 passing yards. James Conner, who we are fading as a straight bet, under 85 rushing yards. Hunter Henry over 15 receiving yards and at least 20 receiving yards for Ramondre Stevenson, who gets a ton of work in the passing game. Put it all together without any boost, plus 550 odds. And if you had that plus 100 or boost that Mikey was talking about, you can get this at plus 1,100.
Damn right. Let's cash register. 2 weeks ago, we hit 2 straight at plus 600 or higher. For those of you new to the brand, yes, we do hit these, and they are a ton of fun because dirty little secret that other brands won't tell you, you're allowed to have a good time when you do this. And damn it, we have a good time every freaking day, especially when we do this. We are crossing the top of the hour. For those of you just dropping in right now, this is the Early Edge watching on YouTube, or those listening on Apple or Spotify, we welcome you too. It's time for the gym. Last night, Mikey cashed it. He told you right here on the show, Mike Williams would be a guy that Herbert would look at, and he did for the first touchdown of the game. So Club Cachet was rocking. So now we're getting down to just a few faces that are still standing outside. So since Mikey invented this game and he yes, see, are we on the talk, or we all know who it is. You don't have to tell people. Yeah, they all know. Well, they all know. I mean, they look at Alex, they look at Mikey, they even look at me, they go, those guys are in the Club Cachet. I mean, it's obvious. It's obvious. I may enjoy this a little too much. See, I apologize. All right, so now Mikey took exception, because I know how competitive Mikey is, to me letting Alex go first last night. He said, whoa, we're not doing that again. And so he cashed. So Mikey's right back in the driver's seat tonight. Who do you like?
We're going with a very similar play in Marquise Brown. Look, I think this discount is available for a couple reasons. Number one, he competes with a mobile quarterback and one of the best red zone weapons ever to play in DeAndre Hopkins. And then on the other side, a very clear usage monster in Ramondre. So we get a nice number here at plus 1,300. I mentioned this is just the second time he will have shared the field with Hopkins. He led in target share the first time, almost 30% target share. Hopkins is a huge target in the red zone. Give me Marquise Brown here, plus 1,300.
Damn it, you always find these little nuggets before the rest of us are even paying attention. Just another level you are on. So, great first pick by Mikey. Could he make it 2 nights in a row? Nobody has done that this year. I don't know if has anybody ever done 2 nights in a row? Ever? Not ever. Not ever. Okay, so tonight Mikey can make history. He can make history. So, Alex, I know how competitive you are, and it did not sit well with you that you're not going first tonight. But there's a way for you to remedy that, and you know how. You're up.
Yeah, Coach. Give me Hunter Henry. Got this one at plus 1,600. I believe it might even be plus 1,800 presently on DraftKings. Talked a lot about why I like this guy tonight. The Cardinals bleed production, give up more yards to the tight end position than any team in football. No Jacoby Myers on the field either, who typically gets a lot of those underneath and routes over the middle of the field, where I think Henry will be operating. Love his chances to get into the end zone tonight. And I also love his anytime touchdown odds that you can get around plus 270 to plus 300.
All right. And somebody in the chat says, oh, so wait, did he like the reception prop for Hunter Henry or the yardage? He likes it all. Big night for Hunter Henry, says Alex. So I believe the next person to go is the big old fat face of AB, because he got in the club before I did. AB, talk to me.
Yes, sir. All right, I tell you what, we're going to keep it simple here. We just went through the no-fly zone of Kyler Murray. We'll bring that up. You see that bottom part right there where it says interceptions, red zone, 0.00%. It's because he gets those micro machine legs and takes off right there to the pylon. He's going to do it tonight. Take Kyler Murray plus 1,300.
Wow. Nothing drives me crazier than when I bet against Kyler Murray and he has one of those games where he runs for 100 yards and does that stupid little thing where he holds the ball out in the first down. You know what I'm talking about? And you're like, somebody just hit him. Just hit him. Not tonight, though, because we're on his rushing yards. We love that tonight. We love that tonight. By the way, Garen says, I've been riding Sia every first touchdown since you all started picking on him. That means you lost a lot of tickets then. That's all I know.
Appreciate that, Garen.
All right, I'm going to go with a long shot. I'm feeling my inner M squared tonight, plus 3,600. I hear everything about Marquise Brown. I hear everything about DeAndre Hopkins, but maybe when we get down inside the 30, they're guarded. And we can go to a man who was desperate to get out of Carolina. And I'm talking about Robbie Anderson. Just one catch last week, but he's just getting himself into the offense. All I need is one catch tonight in the end zone first. All right. So everybody that's in Club Cachet has now gone. So Sia, you are up next, sir. Who's going to be your selection tonight? And I already pictured you in my mind earlier, like trying to decide, and you're just like you're grinding because we're getting down to just a few weeks left.
Coach, you know what hurts real bad and what might hurt real bad is I was debating between the guy I chose and Hunter Henry. And I was on Hunter Henry the whole time, and I changed my mind last minute to, of course, Nelson Aguilar at plus 1,700. So if it ends up being Hunter Henry and we get Proppy 3 times, this is going to be pretty intolerable. By the way, those of you in the chat, you may not be able to notice just watching this, on your computer screen or your phone, but when Coach asked, has anybody done this 2 weeks in a row? I don't know if you can notice this, but like he was looking directly at me because, of course, I'm the guy who did it 3 times last year. Enough of that. I like Nelson Aguilar at plus 1,700. Listen, you got Jacoby Myers that's out of this game. Nelson Aguilar is going to slip into that number 2 spot. And you have injuries on the Cardinals defensive backfield that is actually going to directly affect Nelson Aguilar to his benefit. So I really like Nelson Aguilar at plus 1,700.
Very good. Very good. I'm not going to make any jokes at this point. I actually feel bad. Sal says, Coach is piling on Sia. Want to give a shout out to our guy Sia and show some love. Wow. All of a sudden, I'm turning you into a baby face. And when I was in the WWE, there's nothing I hated more than a baby face because I was a classic heel. You know that, Alex. You told me you used to hate me back in the day. And now we're like best friends. We're just clinking glasses in the club together. Come on. That's okay. Love to hate me back in the day. It's okay. All right. So now Jake the Snake, he is on a play tonight. We've got to give – who does Jake like tonight? Kendrick Bourne at plus 1,900. This is the only thing that I could think of that would burn Sia more is if Snake gets in before Sia does, because everybody else is in. Everybody else is in. All right. We're going to go through our best bets one more time because people just dropped in. It's about 6 after the hour, 9 minutes until the start of Monday Night Football. So let's make this 10, 15 seconds, boys. Prop stars, who do you like tonight?
Yeah, Coach. I like James Conner under 61.5 rushing yards. Tough matchup against a very stout Patriots front seven. Conner's been held under in 7 of 9 games this season. I think he struggles tonight against New England.
See ya. Talk to me.
Ramondre Stevenson, longest rush under 18.5 yards. It's acceptable at 17.5. I expect some chunk plays from Ramondre Stevenson, but I think 18.5 is too high. Those chunk plays could obviously come in the passing game, which doesn't affect this bet. He hasn't exceeded this number in his last 4 games.
Okay, and Zach Attack, he's on the Cardinals from the morning show, plus 1.5. AB, talk to me.
Yes, sir. We are going Kyler Murray over half an interception. We're also going Kyler Murray longest rush over 14.5 yards, and Patriots kicker Nick Folk over 1.5 field goals.
All right, we did talk about over 7.5 for Nick Folk on early edge in 5, and we said not quite worth it because you need 2 full touchdowns and 2 extra points if you want to get there. Then the Maestro for the morning show, Nelson Aguilar over 29.5. That's up to like 34.5. Kyler Murray over 35.5 rush yards. Then Mikey, quickly for those people who came in, who are the 2 players you told us about 30 minutes ago you really like tonight?
Number 1, Devontae Parker for the Patriots here in the weeks when Jacoby Myers was out. 100% route participation. Love everything about him. Love the individual matchup he has here. Guy that's going to be lining up opposite of him rates about 101st of 120 active corners. Love the spot there. And then Marquise Brown for the Cardinals.
I say it all the time. He does the work for you. These are next-level cappers, ladies and gentlemen. These are the absolute very best that America has to offer, and we have them all here at the Early Edge and at SportsLine. This would be a perfect opportunity for the glass to shatter and inebriated buckets to show up. You know what? I pride myself on coming up with a lot of ideas for the show. I'm kicking myself I did not have that one. Because that would be amazing if Buckets dropped in right now. Hat on backwards, glasses. He's in Times Square. It's dark. All right, everybody. You can see it. See what I'm saying? Thomas is a genius. We're idiots. But he's there for a week. Holler. All right. Now, you know we like to end every one of our shows. But I'm going to do a little bonus because I know a lot of people. I saw a lot of people dropped in at the top of the hour. So since we have 6 minutes, let's quickly do the donkey and goose one more time so people have a chance to get it in. Mikey, go through the donkey one more time, please.
All right, donkey here. Mega donk, 100% boost out there. Cardinals plus 8.5. Mac Jones over 194.5 passing yards. DeAndre Hopkins over his lowest alt number of 59.5. Devontae Parker over 34.5. Hunter Henry over 14.5. Marquise Brown, another guy I absolutely love tonight, over 39.5. Nelson Aguilar, 19.5. Ramondre Stevenson, 29.5. And then if you want to play the touchdown scores with me that really boosts this up, Ramondre Stevenson and Marquise Brown plus 7,000.
2 weeks ago, we came 1 yard away from cashing plus 3,400. All right, give me the goose.
Yep. First up, we've got Ramondre Stevenson, anytime touchdown scorer. The Cardinals to score at least 29 points. To score under 29 points. The Patriots to score at least 17 points. Kyler Murray to throw for under 300 passing yards. Mac Jones to throw for at least 170 passing yards. James Conner to rush for under 85 yards. Hunter Henry to have 15 receiving yards. Last but not least, Ramondre Stevenson to have at least 20 receiving yards. I just wanted to say really quickly, these numbers, these alt numbers that you're putting into these same game parlays, they do fluctuate depending on how much action comes in on either side. So if you're trying to take these bets and you can't find the exact numbers, you can just skip the leg, leave it out if it's moved a lot. So obviously you don't have to take an inflated number if it's there. Just wanted to point that out to the good people at home.
That's exactly right. I would rather you hit plus 300 without it than plus 500 with it. I really, really would. All right, it's that time of the show. You know what we like to end every single primetime show asking my guys exactly the number one most important thing they're looking forward to for tonight's game. Use it for tonight or into the future. Mikey, start us off.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing the target distribution between Marquise Brown and DeAndre Hopkins in this one. Hopefully, Marquise Brown has a touchdown, preferably the first touchdown of the game, and the Cardinals keep it within 8.5 tonight.
If he's going to score and I'm not going to hit, that's exactly what I want to happen. By the way, you heard Mikey earlier in the show, only the second time they played together this year. So definitely use it. Watch it because they're going to be together for the next 4 or 5 weeks. All right, Alex, talk to me.
Yeah, looking forward to seeing how this New England Patriots defense responds. They've lost 2 games in a row. They were the best defense in the NFL for the majority of the season, the stingiest, both a great pass defense and rush defense. Kind of got exposed a little bit in the last 2 weeks against the Vikings, against the Bills, combined for over 60 total points. I think this is a good spot for them to get back on track. I expect a really motivated effort from one of the elite defenses in the NFL.
All right, very good. See ya. You're up.
Yeah, I expect a good effort from the Patriots as well. And I think this is a really interesting game. From here on out, with the AFC and the NFC, they're both wide open in terms of playoff opportunities. Like, this is the kind of game where it's win and you're potentially in, and you lose, especially in the case of these two teams, and you're probably going to be out. So the intensity is really notched a level up here. By the way, the chat has been amazing. I can't wait for Thursday Night Football. There were some comments in there that were unbelievable, including the last one from Air Jordan. That was awesome.
Yeah, we say it all the time. My 4-year-old watches the show with me. He has picked up on the name Cousin Sia and has been telling people he saw Cousin Sia. How cool is that? Does he also tell his friends that Sia hasn't gotten to the club yet? I'm assuming he does at preschool. I think he does. Hey, little Johnny, I saw Cousin Sia last night. Oh, no, he was not in the club. I just saw him. We hung out at the house. Those of you in the chat, all kidding aside, we can't do the show without you. Damn it, we love doing it more than you could ever possibly know. And if you're in the New York City area, please, I implore you, if you see Buckets, tell him to call me. He has not responded for hours. Tina, I see you got the same shirt. I bet you look a lot better than me in it. That's all I'm going to say. All right. There's only one thing left to do. And I believe you all know. God, I love this. What that is. You've got your marching orders. Let's take all of these Monday night tickets straight to the pay window. For my entire crew, love them all. M Squared, Proppy 2 times. AB, the voice of God. Jake the Snake, an incredible producer. And tonight, the baby face, Sia Najad. You all want him to get in. It's us against the world. We'll find out what happens. Thanks for hanging out with us right here on the Early Edge. Good luck.